Donald Trump traveled to Atlanta, Georgia, had a campaign stop there. And before going to the fundraising event that he's going to, he had one of those post-flight press conferences with reporters and then went to a Chick-fil-A. We'll look at moments from both of those. The press conference, the chatting with reporters part of this got so deranged so fast, as you're about to see. And he's been escalating his rhetoric on Jewish Americans and what he thinks about Jewish Americans who choose not to vote for him. So that will be what we lead with once we get to him. Before getting to that, even just to go chronologically, the Brian Glenn, Marjorie Greene boyfriend, Right Side Broadcasting host was covering Trump's landing. And this is like North Korea propaganda right here. Take a look.
To see, though, every time I see Trump Force One, it just gives me goosebumps. Unbelievable.
Oof, it hurts. Come on, have some respect for yourself, Brian. My goodness. Now getting to the more serious stuff. Here, Trump saying that any Jewish American who doesn't support him, who supports a Democrat, needs to have their head examined.
And any Jewish person that votes for a Democrat or votes for Biden should have their head examined.
And we've been hearing this escalating over time from Donald Trump, and it needs to be called out as anti-Semitism because that's what we're hearing from Donald Trump. And he has been saying for some time that Jewish Democrats hate Israel, they hate their religion if they're religiously Jewish, and now he's saying they have to get their head examined. They're crazy. Something's wrong with them. That is vile stuff from Trump. Then moving away from that subject onto the subject of abortion rights. Of course, we've been covering extensively Trump's releasing of this video where he sought to clarify his stance on abortion rights. And it, as I've been saying, outraged everyone because he keeps trying to remind the conservative part of his movement that he is responsible for the overturning of Roe v. Wade because of the Supreme Court justice he got onto the bench. But then he's trying to be not electorally completely non-viable. And so he's not saying there should be a national abortion ban, is instead doing sort of the middle ground thing, saying this is a states' rights issue, and thus reminding people that he should be blamed for everything that has happened because of the laws that were enabled because of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, but also making angry his own party because they want to hear him call for a national abortion ban. And you'll notice as we go through these clips, he keeps trying to just convince everyone, no, you're happy. You like my stance. Trust me. Even if you don't, you do.
So for 52 years, people have wanted to end Roe v. Wade to get it back to the states. We did that. It was an incredible thing, an incredible achievement. We did that. And now the states have it, and the states are putting out what they wanted.
So again, before playing more, the message has to be from us, those who are advocating on behalf of reproductive freedoms. We have to make sure people understand going into November that Donald Trump is proudly taking credit for everything that's happened since the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Every time he repeats that, it was a great thing. We know the dominoes that fell because of that Supreme Court decision, because of the justice he's responsible for. And so that needs to be attached and connected in the minds of Americans to Donald Trump. All these horrific laws, all these different harmful situations being caused at the end of the day because of that set of dominoes knocked down by Donald Trump. Then here's Trump saying this.
It was always about states' rights, and we brought it there, and everybody's very happy, with the exception of a few people, individual people that have their own agenda.
So he says about states' rights. Joe Biden responded saying, no, Donald, it's about women's rights, which this is something Trump does a lot, and it's very strange. Just looking at you and sort of trying to hypnotize you by repeating that you're okay with something a bunch of times. Everybody's happy. You're happy, I promise. You're happy. Everybody wanted this. Everybody wanted this. Look at my finger. Everyone wanted this. You wanted this. You're happy. You love Donald Trump. You're going to vote for Donald Trump. He does this constantly. Everyone agrees on this. No, they don't. Why are you saying that? And that applies to this very much. So here's more.
People are very happy with by statement on abortion. And you'll see it like that. Everything about abortion, it was all about bringing it back to the states.
Just gonna pause your viewing of this video to ask you to subscribe. It makes a huge difference. Just takes a click if you're enjoying the content. If you're not, what are you doing here? Go away, haters. But if you like it, please click the subscribe button. And back to the video.
Every legal scholar, everybody from the Democrats to Republicans, they wanted to bring it back for 53 years. Bring it back to the states. I did that, and now each individual states.
Then take a look at this incoherent word salad as he gets asked about the Arizona Supreme Court decision that upheld a 123-year-old law, Civil War era law, before Arizona was even officially a state, and it banned abortion outright. Only exception is life of the mother, nothing else. And the Arizona Supreme Court upheld that and said it's enforceable. And here's what Trump said.
Thank you, sir. Mr. President, did Arizona go too far? Did Arizona go too far?
Yeah, they did, and that'll be straightened out. And as you know, it's all about states' rights. That'll be straightened out. And I'm sure that the governor and everybody else are going to bring it back into reason, and that'll be taken care of, I think, very quickly.
What do you think about Florida?
Florida's probably maybe going to change also. See, it's all of what it's the will of the people. This is what I've been saying. It's a perfect system. So for 52 years, people have wanted to end Roe v. Wade to get it back to the states. We did that. It was an incredible thing, an incredible achievement. We did that, and now the states have it, and the states are putting out what they want. It's the will of the people.
Yeah, so again, Trump sees this as coming off as more moderate. And compared to Lindsey Graham, Pence, these pro-life groups calling for a national abortion ban, technically it is. But the message has to be, because this is the fact of the matter and voters need to respond accordingly, none of this would be happening. None of these state laws would be being implemented if it weren't for Trump becoming president in 2016. And that's what voters need to be keeping in mind. And that's what he's taking credit for. And so he's trying to sort of abstract the concept enough to where that's blurry. And Trump's saying he's not national abortion ban, he's states' rights, and everyone's doing what they want, so everything's good. And he keeps looking at me and shouting that I'm happy. So I guess don't allow that hypnosis to work, and understand he needs to be electorally punished for his record on this issue. Then he just lies about Biden here.
And high taxes, big inflation, everything they do is bad. They want to quadruple everyone's taxes. There's no way that a man like this should be even allowed in government.
So he says that Biden wants to quadruple everyone's taxes. MAGA, when you hear these claims, please keep in mind, Biden's currently the president. So you don't have to listen to Trump's speculation about what he'd do. He's currently the president, and he has a record you can look at in the last few years of him being president, and he hasn't tried to quadruple your taxes. So this claim's ridiculous. It reminds me of Trump saying that the stock market would crash under Joe Biden if he got elected in 2020. And that was something Trump said in the 2020 campaign. And then, of course, stock market's breaking records under Biden. And then Trump again predicted that would happen if Biden gets elected in 2024. And I guess that contradiction is perfectly fine to his followers. Then Trump goes to a Chick-fil-A, and take a look at this claim we've heard Trump make before, but every time it's just as absurd.
I've done more for the black community than any other president since Abraham Lincoln, and maybe including Abraham Lincoln, frankly.
And do you know what he's referring to when he says that? The fact that black unemployment got low under him, but it got lower under Joe Biden. So how on earth could that be your argument? I don't know. Then Trump had this to say in Chick-fil-A.
Question. You answered some questions about abortion, but do you think a doctor should be punished who perform abortions?
I'll let that be to the states. You know, everything we're doing now is states and states' rights. And what we wanted to do is get it back to the states, because for 53 years it's been a fight.
Okay, so you get the point. Same stuff there. And I've been clear on how we should be speaking about this issue to give people the clearest understanding of what's going on, regardless of the rhetoric that Trump spews. So there it is. Trump's trip to Atlanta, Georgia did not go well as of when I'm recording this. I don't expect it to get much better. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel.